Yes, no, hello everyone. Matt here with the first of a Football Manager 2021 series that I'm going to be doing here in the south of England with Brentford. For those of you who don't know, I've done Football Manager videos a long time ago. This channel's been open for years and years and years. I've done a bit of everything. I know a lot of you will be subscribed for the football shirt videos, which I'm not doing anymore. I do still collect. Hopefully, when I get a better setup sorted out, that I can actually get a camera on, I can start wearing some shirts. Hopefully, a Brentford shirt. You never know. But yeah, basically, I want to actually start this. But what we're going to try and do is play it a little bit different to the normal FM videos that you see. And what I mean by that is I'm going to give you guys a bit of control as well. Um, because what we're going to do is we're going to use statistical analysis when it comes to identifying players. Kind of like the Moneyball tactic, but I'm trying to replicate what Brentford do in real life. Unfortunately, you can't do that without a scouting system. So I've clicked on the wrong tab there. We have actually got some scouts in the club. I'm gonna off camera go through and pick the ones that aren't very good because basically your player, if you go to player search, your player search is populated by your staff knowledge and your affiliate knowledge. So I think we've got five scouting members at the club. Um, but yeah, this is a screen you're going to see an awful lot of. An awful lot of scouting, and it's going to be manual scouting as well. It's going to go into this. What we want to look at, personal preference is to not sign people. Obviously, I don't want a 34-year-old or a 41-year-old lead on Gook. But what we want to do is we want to look at this, and this screen is a bit of a mix. So it's a mix of Fox in the Box's DNA view, where he basically wants everybody in their team to have good determination, good teamwork, good anticipation, decisions, work rate, and natural fitness. Um, Ability and potential also comes into where the scouts get involved. But I'm a big believer of this is that star ratings don't really matter. Just to sort of put it out there, I'm going to prove it with this guy. Before I started the video, I had a little test. I was going to give him a bit of a scout there. This guy is not great. You look at him. He's 24 years of age. He's Finnish. He's playing. He's on loan at Fortuna Sittard from Adabo Sport Club. Uh, he's made 5 appearances. He has got 4 goals and 2 assists, with an average rating of 7.04. His DNA isn't amazing. 13, 12, 11 anticipation decisions, 14 work rate, and 12 natural fitness. But if you look, so what I've done here, if I auto size all these, I had a little look at shots per 90, sort of as I was setting up this video. And why I was doing that is if I am to feel as though my striker, at the minute it's even Tony, isn't having enough shots per game, is there a reason for that? Hopefully my tactic is good enough to create chances. Is he not creating them? So you have a look at shots per 90. So this guy, Kari Lyon, shots per 90, 1.4 shots per 90 minutes. He's had 13 shots in total in the 5 games that he's played. He scored 4 goals with a 54% shot on target um, percentage. That's very good. For a striker, that is really good. So what we'll be doing for scouting him, obviously I've just sent a scout to look at him there just to get a scout report. That's not to look at the star ratings. That is more so to look at his hidden attributes. So sort of his personality. He's fairly professional. That's quite good. But sort of the hidden things. So we need to know whether he's volatile. Whether he's quite injury prone. If he is quite injury prone, then there is ways around that. Just because a player is injury prone doesn't mean you can't sign him. What it means is that you've got to reduce his workload and training. You've got to be quite hands on with stuff like that. But this guy, um, just sort of have a little overlook. If we compare him with Ivan Tony, Tony's more physical. He's a bit quicker. One more attacking, which is this. This is sort of why I do this. If you look at the attributes, it looks quite even, doesn't it? Tony's more physical. We know that from the graph. Mental attribute wise, he's a bit more aggressive, but you'd expect that because Tony's more of a pressing forward or a target man. He's a bit bigger. He's a bit more physical. He gets himself about. He's a bit more flair. Off the ball is very similar. There's one in it. positioning, there's a little bit more in it. Teamwork's a little bit off the chart, but what we'd be looking at is here in the statistics. So I'd be comparing these if, Tony had played in a game time. Obviously, he hasn't. Position wise, they're both very equally adept as playing up front. This is what I'd be looking for. This is what we get the scouts to look at. This was versatility, his crossing, the social group fit. That's what we want to look for. Because at the minute we've only really got Tony and Mbuemo as actual strikers. Mbuemo's more of a winger but can play up front. But as a backup striker, so if we go back to Rasmus, goes back to his profile. 14 finishing, that's really good. Obviously, finishing, I don't know if a lot of people watch Zealand's video about attributes and stats and whatnot last year. Finishing never used to be that big of a thing. You could train your players to go around the keeper and he could still score a bucket full of goals. As those doing lower league saves tend to find out when a striker with 2 finishing and 2 composure scores against you. But in these leagues, so he's on loan at Fortuna Sittard in the Dutch league. He's got 14 finishing. That's really good. Like 14 finishing, sort of like a mid-table Premier League team, so that's actually quite good. He's got 13 penalty taken, which is a good bonus. Mentally, anticipation, composure, concentration, decisions, determination, off the ball, teamwork, and work rate are all very, very good for this level, and I'm just going to prove it now. So I click on Fortuna Sittard and into the Eredivisie. You then goes to season preview. So on the season preview, they've got down that Steven Bergwijn, or Berghuis, is the best attacking striker in this league. He's got 14 finishing. He's got 13 penalty taken. He's got 12 teamwork. So if we then compare him with Caroline, and we want to look at the overview. Bergwijn, again, we know he's more physical. That's fine. Similar to Tony. He's got better vision because he's a winger, whereas Caroline is an actual striker. Attacking wise, they're very, very close. 13 to 12. Technical wise, 14 to 10. Bergwijn will be more technical because he'll have better technique. He will have better technique because he's a winger. Natural winger. He's got 15 crossing. He's got 14 corners. So that amounts to that. Aerial's the same. Mental's ever so slightly different, but um, Caroline is 4 years younger, so within those 4 years, those mental attributes could actually improve. So, what I do is I get my scouts to go and look at this type of player, and then we look at the stats and we think, okay, maybe he can come in. He's probably going to come back in my team. I'm going to say is maybe a 2 or 3 star. I've already sent the scouts out to have a little look. He wouldn't necessarily fit in my system because I've got Tony as a deep line forward. So this is the tactic we're going to be playing. As I say, there's a little bit off screen. We've sort of gone for the standard what Brentford like to do in real life because there's no point in coming in and me going, we're going to play 4-4-2 and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. You need to play into what you've got. We've not got a lot on the wage budget or the transfer budget because Brexit being implemented on the game. So we've got Raya and goal as a sweeper keeper, Henry and Dalsgaard. Dalsgaard's a bit more attacking because Mbuemo's got a bit more license to get inside, and Henry sort of to sort of roam around these areas and get early balls in. Godos is sort of going to take up a position around here, while Mbuemo is going to run on beyond Tony, which means Dalsgaard can get down the line. Norgard in the middle as a deep line playmaker on defend. I know at the minute he's sort of in rotation, and he will be in rotation with. We need a CDM role. Brilliant. With Vitali, he's going to be in rotation with Vitali. I don't really know what to do with Vitali yet. Oddly enough, I only realised this the other day. He used to actually play in goal. They said that on the Carabao Cup game that they played the other day against Tottenham. I didn't know that. But again, like for what you want, stats are great, but Norgard's a bit better, and I'm going to say why because of what we want to do. So Vitali to me, yeah, he's a ball winner. So he's going to be used in rotation with Matthias Jensen, who I have got set as the ball winner midfielder in this. Matthias Jensen, Josh Da Silva. Josh Da Silva is more of a box-to-box player, as you can see from there. He's got the attributes for it. I think purely because of his agility, his stamina, his work rate, and that he's actually really good. Runs the ball through the centre, shoots from distance, cares what arrives late, and hits his free kicks with power. So the traits make an awful lot of difference. I know that's quite good as a box-to-box, but because we've got Norgard sitting deep and sweeping up, We're actually trying to train out this arrives late in the opponent's area from Norgard because he's not very fast. He's not going to get there in time. He's not very good at finishing. What we want him to do is sit and distribute the ball. He comes deep to get the ball, that's great. He tries to get the balls often, that's even better because we're going to have Mbuemo and Gordos making runs. Tony, although is set to a deep line forward, we've set him to roam from position. And I might set him to dribble a little more, depending on how he plays in the friendly games. But I've done this because he's big and he's good in the air. I've found that deep line forwards are basically like mobile target men on this game. Um, so yeah, we're going to do that. He's going to hold the ball up. He's going to let Godos and then Wemo get on behind him. Henry and Dalsgaard to get on even further, and um, so on and so forth. We're going to make chances. Matthias Jensen, centre midfield attack. It's not the sexiest role in the game. I know a lot of people use Metzala or advanced playmaker or box to box. All we want him to do, we want him to sort of be up and down. He's got decent natural fitness at 13. He's got decent stamina at 13. He's a bit of a jack of all trades. He can sort of do a bit of everything, Jensen. I could play him as a box to box, could play him as a Metzala, but I think central midfield gives them a lot more scope to sort of just do what they want in a game. Just to go back to that there, and you look at his traits, he tries killer balls as well. He dictates the tempo of the game. If I've got him set as a box to box, if he's going too far deep, he can't dictate the tempo from deep. He can't arrive late in an opposition's area. Long range passes is fine. He's got all the traits as a really, really good central midfielder on attack. He's going to try and influence the game further up the pitch, which is great because De Silva, if he were to lose the ball, De Silva's there to try and win it back. If he can't win it back, he's got the block of Norgard there. So that's sort of what we're trying to do. We're starting off with a positive mentality. We want more direct passing, so we just want to try and get at opposition, just get at the opposition as much as we can. More direct passing to the space, so that's more so for Godos and Mbuemo. We want to play out the defence because we've got some really good players who, 11 vision and good first touch, good passing on the centre back there. He could be played as a ball player. Okay, we'll play Pinnock as a ball player. But yeah, we want to play out of the defence, but when we're out of possession, we want to counter press. We want to win it back quickly. As you can see, there's going to be all these guys. If we win it back, this is when that triangle is going to form between Pinnock, uh, Norgard, and Jensen. We want to go to the fullbacks because the fullbacks are the ones who are going to be bombing on. That's going to allow all the other players to move around off the ball. And then when we're out of position again, we want to force the opponents out wide. We want to get this triangle to drop deeper. So we want the players to drop. We want the triangle to drop, and that's sort of the defensive shape we want. We're going to keep it standard for now. I don't sort of like going too gung-ho, although it is quite a gegenpressing tactic if you want. The pressing intensity set to urgent, but that's more so just for the counter press. But yeah, that's sort of how we're going to line up. I've sort of spoken about how we want to scout, how we want to look at players. Just again for additional proof that the star ratings aren't really all that. Luke Dreher here. Philip Giles is actually a decent director of football. Look at that. 17 negotiating, 14 ability, 15 potential. That's very good for a Premier League team, never mind a Championship team. He seems to think that this guy has the potential of an AFL Championship player in the future. In FM, players sort of stop growing properly at 23. That's when their potential sort of gets set in. His potential ability is 4.5 star. You look at his attributes. He's got 11s and 12s, a couple of 15s, so he's got really good determination. He's a very well-rounded central midfielder. Will he ever reach 4.5 star? No. That's why star ratings don't really mean anything. Because, I mean, even for me, I think this guy, if we look at his report, his full report, um, where do they think he would be in our team? They think he'd be the 7th best central midfielder in our team. He plays as a Roman playmaker or a deep line playmaker is like his base position. With stats like that, to be honest with you, I'll probably use him as the central midfield attack. But again, he's not got the traits for it. He's not, he's probably not the best. But this is what we need to look out for when we're looking at the the key passes per 91, because he's probably going to go on loan to a lower, like a League One team, and he's probably going to have a really good season because, as I say, he's got stats to be a decent player for my team, and we're one of the top Championship teams. So that's what we need to look out for. Star ratings don't mean an awful lot. You can have a 2-star player that'll be the best. Just as proof, not that it means anything to you. I actually did a very similar save last year on FM, and I signed this guy. His position's changed slightly. He was like a DM, deep lying playmaker. Look at the stats. He's got every stat for it. Looks for a pass rather than attempting to score, which isn't great for a cam. But basically, he was playing for Verona on the save I was on last year at Blackburn. Very similar thing. He was transfer listed. I think he was 27 years of age at the time. He came in as like a 2-star ability player, and he was comfortably the best CDM I had at the team. His average rating was like 8.1 every game, and I was like at the very average Premier League team at the time, and he pushed us up there. And so sort of that's the type of player that we want. Sort of again, that's sort of where the money board thing comes into it. It's a bit difficult. It's a bit hard to get the point across, but you're going to see it all in future videos. That's sort of just a little introduction video to it. I'm going to be trying to record at least one a day. It won't be uploaded one a day. It'll probably be every couple of days. But yeah, that's sort of what we want. Setup's not great at the minute, so if you get a bit of frame rate issues, if the quality is not good, if it's a bit janky, please bear with me because I'm playing on a low end laptop. Really, I'm not playing on the best specs because I'm not minted. But yeah, that's sort of what we want to do. That was just a little introduction to the save, and hopefully we're going to start winning some silverware with Brentford. Hopefully we can go up this year because they briefly missed out on the Premier League last year, which meant like Ben Rama and Watkins went, and obviously Ben Rama and Watkins would be perfect in this team. But we've got to adapt and build, and that's exactly what Brentford like to do. But yeah, so that was Matt. That was just a quick introduction to the save. I'm going to play a little bit off camera now, and then a transfer offer. Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit off camera now, and yeah, hopefully you like the video, and we'll see you all next time.